Everybody rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh Lord, as we gather this day to do important business for the people of the village of VOO, grant us wisdom, compassion, and understanding. Amen.
All right, our first item is the public hearing on outside sewer rate adjustments. Somebody here talk about the sewer rate, the outside sewer rate, which is not the EDUs. It is a sewer rate you get charged if you have a meter, which there are not very many of.
Says we did go to plumbing, right?
Your technical difficulties.
No, I got it. I have another one.
Did we let the town know?
Yeah, the letter was sent to them, to them and the state. I haven't heard a word from them.
There are really only customers for meters.
Right, you know, here's a copy of the letter that was sent out. So, no final change.
And all this is doing is normalizing their rate with the EDU. A while back, over a year ago, the EDU rate went up 41%, and the amount, if you had a meter, the water, well, yeah, if we were able to get your water meter readings and build on that, that rate never went up.
So it's just adjusting it to make it equal and fair to that.
Right.
So,
Another part, what are the thinking?
Close the public hearing.
Yeah, if nobody's anything to say, we'll close the public hearing. And then, is there any discussion on it amongst the board? Alright, so do we want to vote to enact the change?
got to amend approximately
Well, we need a motion.
motion to amend
Amend.
Appendix A, B.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to amend appendix B.
Second.
The board has in front of it the specific dollar figure that's being increased by.
Yes, what's the figure? I didn't print it out.
I didn't print it out either, so, but the current rate is 0.0833 per cubic feet for water supplied. The new rate will be 0.1174 per cubic foot water supplied. The minimum charge is gonna go from $196.09 to $276.49. Right now, the capital charge in outside users is $5 per quarter per account. That's going to go to $10 for a minimum, or 0.00417 per cubic foot of water supply, whichever is greater.
Would you give that last number?
0.00417.
And that was something we found where the $5 capital improvement fee was charged per EDU, but it was only being charged one fee per bill.
Before we went to EDUs, that's the way it was. It was a $5 then per account. When the EDUs changed, is when it changed to the $7.50 per EDU.
So that number will normalize it based on what everybody else has already been paying.
The capital improvement charge as well.
We have a motion and a second. Anybody got any comments? Brian?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right. Then the first part of the regular meeting is public comment. Any comment? So I'd like to, I suppose, appoint is the correct term. Steve Huberman, did I say that right?
Yes.
As a village historian.
Just tell us, just a little something about yourself.
Sure. My wife and I moved to Apple Lake in Marshland Road about 2 years ago. I am a retired U.S. Marine, 26 years active in reserve, and I'm a retired history teacher for 30 years at Whitney Point. I was born in Binghamton, but I've always loved Owego. Kind of was a place I always wanted to live, and it just worked out. It took us 2 years to find a house. We moved from a place in Maine, which was kind of as a history teacher, history's kind of my thing, and it was a historic home on the National Registry. I've done a lot of stuff with teaching, and written a few small things over the years. And met Peter at the library at the Historical Society, and we were just going through some documents, and he asked me if I might be interested someday down the road, and I'm like, sure, I'd be, and I would be really interested if the job is open. I'm not trying to push anybody out of a job. I have no interest in that. It's not any reason why I did that, but certainly I volunteer as a waterman. In fact, I'll be giving a tour at Hiawatha Island on Father's Day. Many of you are going, so kind of all volunteer stuff. I would definitely appreciate your consideration for the job. Any questions for me on that?
Peter?
I just wanted to say, Steve is Emma's favorite. She didn't want me to push him forward here because he's useful to her, her research. And so I just wanted to mention that I'm putting words in her mouth, but I think she's very high on Steve, and that's I think the important as you guys make your independent evaluation to know what Emma thinks.
Don't get me in trouble with that.
I live in fear of those little feet appearing at my doorstep.
Steve, you understand the rate of pay for this, right?
I have really very little idea, maybe none.
Yeah.
We can even double it.
Yeah. So,
Wait a minute, you offered me that today.
They're really generous on that number, just so you know.
Do we need to take any action, or is that just a matter of?
Yeah, we have to approve, so we have to vote.
I'm in the lead.
So you nominate him?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just happen to have my book.
Look at that.
He's gonna swear it in.
That's what, yes, spell your last name.
B-E-U-K-E-M-A.
E-M-A?
Correct. It's Stephen with a PH. S-T-E-P-H-E-N.
2 seconds, yeah.
This completes the set of historians not in their right location. Because Tamara
Steve, do you
Bates is
solemnly swear that
historian
you
for the
will
town
support
of
the Constitution of the United States and the
Tioga
Constitution
and
of the State of
Nichols,
New York?
and she lives next door to just 2 houses down from us in the village. And I'm the town, so we're all.
At least you're in the right spot.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll go around the room here. Nice to meet you. Mr. Mayor. Nice to meet you. Hi.
All right, keep it up.
Okay. Don't.
You're gonna give Jeff wanted to give you a card.
Problem, yeah.
You get anything from us? Well, everybody does.
You can't have storage, we already got.
Yeah, just want some of your budget.
Everybody does.
All right. Next
Who
item.
wants office furniture?
Office furniture, all right. Next item is the Memorial Day Parade permit. Everybody got a copy? I don't think this is any different than normal. So we're going from the police station to north to Main, east to Page, must be south on Page, west on Front, to Courthouse, Square, and then they ended the Veterans Memorial there at the Courthouse Square.
Move to accept it. Parade permit?
And it is, anybody wants to go to the parade, it appears it is 10:30 on Memorial Day. 1 week from today.
Jeff, how many gators do you have?
Many as we need.
Looks like we need to be 10 a.m. on Temple Street, probably by the police station. If you want to be in a parade, man. All right, parade?
Yes.
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 Yes. And then if you do want to be in a parade, let me know. Figure out how many gators we need and how many signs we need, because we're the last ones. Charles is a crazy driver. Well, it was bad and cold and raining.
Oh, jeez. That's right, I forgot that.
It's like 20 degrees. Our next item is revised employee job description. Bill will be here.
Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
Joe, that probably could not come, he couldn't be here for this, that's what he.
Okay. So I'm not quite sure how this works, so we make it out this out.
Go ahead.
So this is, apparently with our discussions with civil service, they acquiesced to let us have our employees, police department, work, they change their job description for some, which it says right here, light cleaning, blah, 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 and work 4 hours a week at this.
And it says may include, so.
Yes, just because it's not limited to that.
Right.
Just approved. So I don't know if we can do it in this manner, but I'm going to be making a motion along the lines of, assuming that this all is in line with the civil service, that we allow the police chief to terminate our contract with the Mary Maids, is it Robbie? Yeah. And as soon as this is set to go, and we will then be...
So Russ, if I can, I think there's two motions. One would be to amend, and I think the position has a records clerk to a motion to amend the records clerk to job duties description to include the identified additional duties in the new position duty statement that's been circulated. And then assuming that passes, then authorizing a second resolution to authorize the mayor to terminate the cleaning contract for the police station at his discretion.
And I will make that first motion. I would change it. Duties.
I'll second it.
Vote on this, this is to amend the job description of the records clerk to add language may include light cleaning such as, but not limited to, vacuuming, mopping, dusting, emptying garbage cans, etc. for approximately 4 hours per week.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And yes.
Second motion is,
Everybody said yes.
Laura said yes. Okay. Next motion is the mayor be authorized to terminate the contract at his discretion with Mary Maids or whatever the name. And that contract is just for the police station part, it's not for the court part.
Correct.
I move that.
I'll second that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And yes. I have no idea what I'm supposed to sign on this. I don't know if we need to.
Just good.
Oh, that's just good. All right, our next item on the agenda, I descriptively labeled it EMS. I sent around a EMS resolution, or a copy of it. So, do we have any? I'll make a motion to accept this resolution, which the resolution, you don't have to read the whole thing.
You have it presented to all the individual trustees, right?
Right.
And then I think you asked for a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Yeah, I mean, for the record, the resolution, purpose of it is it outlines the requirements to join the department and the requirements of the officers of the department, along with their terms of service and when they serve. It's in here about the they have a term of office beginning after the first village board meeting in June of each year and continue for 1 year or until replaced. So anyway, I'll make a motion to accept the resolution. Is that a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion about the resolution?
I would want to strike number 6 all the way past D, and then just start saying each volunteer must be approved by a vote of the village board, and that we could terminate them in the same manner. And then so we would strike as anything related to a separate membership organization that's not under control of the village, and then limit it to like 2, like a captain and a co-captain, and just have them determine who's underneath them,
Okay.
and then leave the second number 1, totally remove number 2.
Would you read them, Laura?
So I guess, well, what's the, as far as the membership organization, that's the, I don't know if we really need that or not, but that's basically saying that they're a part of the unincorporated group of volunteers.
Well, that would be currently, I think, the idea, but the reason for listing that as a qualification is to just convey to, because I think this is one of the things that was asked, that the volunteer organization that provides members be kind of exclusive, that there not be any other volunteer member organizations providing service. And so one of the requirements to kind of show that is to say, to be a volunteer for the village, you must also be a member of this volunteer organization. So I think it's, if that's going to be an actual requirement, that it should be listed as a requirement. And if it's because it's not listed as a requirement, that it's not a requirement.
Right.
I'd also want to strike the part about the captain and the co-captain having a requirement being an officer of the department for no less than 2 years. Hasn't. How many people do we have that have been in there?
True, we can, yeah,
Really limits it.
that makes sense.
And then we didn't really get a chance to talk about the resolution before it came. So can we adjust it a little bit more before we vote on it? Possibly?
I don't know what you mean by adjusted.
Well, so we can talk about the membership organization and then where people live, are we requiring them to live close enough or to respond? There's a part where they have to be able to respond within like 10 minutes to Central Station.
While they're on duty, because the way the EMS works is they have a set shift, basically. So this resolution says that while they're on duty on that shift, they have to be within 10 minutes of the station. Not necessarily where they live, they can move anywhere, as long as they commit to be within 10 minutes of the station while they're on the schedule.
So that is one of the things that we have spoken of, is whether we want some requirements of where someone can be or not. Whether they can live in Sacramento or Adirondack or Nova Scotia or Broome County. That's something that we've talked about discussing, which we still haven't discussed.
I made a motion. No, I only gave me a second yet. Oh, we're on it.
So, Mayor, at a certain point, unless this is the chance to discuss, and then there will be a vote, and if the vote fails, then it sounds like there will be more discussion.
Sorry. Keep going.
Well, we've had a lot of problems with the fire department has that separate organization, the membership organization, and so I don't know, maybe we just sort of concentrate on the language of creating that, however we hook up with the organization that they're creating separately for the EMS, and we just have that language sort of figured out a little bit better before we approve it.
Yeah, this language doesn't tie us to that corporation that's created. It's
That's why
more
we put in there
generic,
separate. The officers cannot be duplicated.
which we haven't accepted that as our membership organization.
So that is a problem slightly with that's one problem with number 6. Be a member of the Emergency Medical Services Membership Organization. What organization is that? I'm assuming at this time that it's from a resolution passed that says, resolved that the individuals listed as members of the unincorporated association attached to our authorized, included, and accepted as volunteers of the EMS department.
That's correct.
So
if you adopted this, for example, as the requirements, then I would say just to formalize it for Rod's minutes, so everyone can then come back and look at it. I would suggest a second resolution saying the unincorporated association, known as whatever it is designated as the membership organization for volunteers of the Village of Owego Emergency Medical Services Department. And then if and when the 501c3 becomes the body, then you would have another resolution at a later time changing that designation over.
Since, first part is at this time, the unincorporated one would be our,
Yeah, I would just suggest a
if that's what we were going to do.
Yeah, if that's what you're going to do. Is that what you mentioned, I think, some separation between the membership organization and the village, and that was part of the discussion that was had. And I believe the recommended, or the consensus of this meeting between myself, Mr. King, and the mayor was that there would be a separation between the operational aspects of the EMS department that would be very clearly in the village, and then the non-operational stuff, that's just the membership stuff, would be the bailiwick of the nonprofit or the unincorporated association.
See, that's the exact thing that some of us are talking about.
That's where this resolution.
Right.
That's the exact same thing that some of us are talking about that we don't like with the fire department, because they have the corporation over here that they believe is completely independent of us and anything that we have to do or say. And we're, so I say some of us don't like that setup there, and if we do this, we're going to set up that same exact situation here. Operation over here, membership over here. We can't tell you what your bylaws are, we can't tell you what to do because you're a corporation. We have nothing to do with it. When we set this up, that wasn't the plan. The plan was that this is going to be a department of an unincorporated association. So that's in addition to the way we set this up.
I think that the way that we're currently talking about with the membership organization that houses the volunteers, the volunteers can just do it if they wanted to. And I mean, they can just get together and say, hey, we're a bunch of volunteers and we have our own thing going on. And they're always free to do that. And that's effectively, I think, the way that the village is, by recognizing them as the body to hold the members, doesn't give them anything beyond simply that. Now, comparing and contrasting that with the fire department is the status of its nonprofit side is through the 150 plus years become more difficult to untangle from the village's normal operations, which is what I think we're trying to keep separate for the EMS department. And by doing it this way, I don't think you're running into that same situation. Again, I mean, if the board said, no, we're not going to designate any nonprofit and we're not going to do anything like that, they can still have a nonprofit and still do everything that they're looking to do otherwise. I mean, nothing's going to stop them from doing that.
That nonprofit will exist. It will not be supplying volunteers for the Village of Owego. It will be a nonprofit that's out there in the cloud doing whatever it's doing.
Right.
Within here, that nonprofit says they get together and elect some officers, and then after that they let us know, and within 3 days of writing we have to do some stuff. As our department, department of us, I think they just recorded a village board meeting. What's up with us having to report back in language on a
That just makes it formal.
3-day thing whenever they do something what?
It's not whenever,
It's the normal course of business
It's not whenever they do something, it's when we don't accept their officers that they present us.
Right.
Which is typical with the fire department.
Once again, we're following the fire department's model. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just a model. Do we want to appoint, since most of our departments, other than the fire department model, we appoint all of the above? officers, etc. Do we want to do that rather than have an election? I don't say that we do, that's part of the discussion again, that we are supposed to have taken 2 months to do. Do we want to do something like that? I don't know.
Well, what the 3 days is saying that if our board disapproves their slate of officers, we have to tell that to the secretary of the fire department within 3 days.
EMS department.
EMS department, yes.
On the fire department.
Yep, yes, I know.
Correct.
And then they have 2 weeks to send us a new slate of officers.
Correct.
Right.
I would say that you could, the 3-day requirement is what it is. It doesn't have to be. You can just have no reference to a certain number of days. It's just that the board, if they disapprove of the slate of officers, shall notify this person in writing of the disapproval, which would be basically Rod saying in a letter, hey, they were disapproved at the meeting, here's the minutes. And then they'd have the 2 weeks to follow through with it. I mean, Rusty is more interested in the discussion, I think, of should we even have the members of the nonprofit elect them or not.
Should they elect the department director? Maybe they should, I don't know. Should they elect lesser officers? Should they, the head of the department? I don't know. Should they or shouldn't they? So once again, it's the discussion.
Well, they know who would do the best job in particular roles, where us as board members don't know all the individuals.
Yeah, I guess my concern with us just appointing people are the other duties besides the village duties of the captain. Like the EMS related duties. I don't know that. I don't know anything about that, I'm not an EMS person. But I don't have that struggle with other departments. You could argue we do with the police department, but those candidates have to be screened and pass a test.
They're employees.
Yeah, regular. I mean, they have to go through civil service and prove that they can be a police chief and that kind of stuff. Jeff's not out digging holes. Sure, probably does. But you know what I mean? These guys are running. I don't know. To me, it makes sense. It makes sense for the fire department too, because it's the same problem. It's the same thing. They're not really controlled by civil service where a lot of our other departments are.
So as usual, you know me, I'm certain things in process, so I'm not comfortable and prepared for this at this time. So I would move that we table this.
We're in a motion to accept it. Seconded.
You can do a motion to table if you get the second. Then you have to go
I think that's fine. However you want to do it, Mayor, at the end of the day, if that vote fails, then I don't know if the vote would fail based on, like, if you would agree to withdraw your motion simply and then table it, or if you would say, based on Trustee Everly's recommended revisions, if you would amend your motion to possibly change some of the language in there, if you want to do that now, and then with that amended motion, maybe Rusty's motion fails instead of succeeding.
Well,
I mean,
no, my opinion is, we can always revise this at any time. I think we need to go ahead with what we have to move forward, have a department. We can always modify the governance at any time.
So I would amend this resolution to take out the 3 days. Just leave village board in writing, shall notify the secretary. And then the no less than officer, no less than 2 years, because technically the department just got one a couple months ago.
So I have other things to do. It says that a duty of the captain is to appoint the narcotics officer. I believe that that's something that the village does. Is that correct?
That's true.
Well, their nomination would come to the board for approval, would it not?
Rusty's point is the way the duties statement currently reads, it delegates the appointment authority to the captain of the department. But Rusty's saying, I think that it should be a village board appointment.
It is now a village board appointment.
Right, so I would amend the,
Could be nominated by the captain, but approved by the village board.
or we could just take it out of there and
I mean, as
the board would have to-
any nominations can be approved or disapproved.
The difference is, in these things, is whether or not we're going to make that decision or whether we're going to take somebody else's recommendation and approve or disapprove that recommendation. And if we disapprove, if we do it a particular way, we disapprove that, then we wait till another recommendation comes and we approve or disapprove. That's one methodology. The other methodology is, as we have now, we decide who the narcotics officer is going to be.
Who does?
The village board.
By
We just did that.
whose suggestion?
Well, that would be our job, which is what we do, and what we did recently when we approved a narcotics officer.
But they were nominated, were they not,
No.
by the department?
We polled it, or, you know, the department head would weigh in on that. More than likely,
We in our
tell us who would pick.
We in our infinite wisdom try and get input from the people and ask them what they think, but it's our authority and obligation to do.
So I would amend the resolution to scratch that off.
But not
Scratch out the narcotics officer, which still leaves that at the board, right? And the department head will weigh in on that.
It would be unusual that we would not take the captain's advice on who that might be.
I would recommend if you're going to remove the narcotics officer from that, then you should address the fact that it does not limit the appointment authority to the listed positions, but it's more broad than that. So if your intent is to not have them appoint the narcotics officer, you might want to be clear that the appointment authority does not include the narcotics officer.
Well, we can take out the but not limited to part.
Or you could do it that way, and then it very narrowly says they can only appoint the
Crew chief
indicated.
and training officer.
Right.